So moved to approve the agenda as presented on April 14th, 2025.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Approved consent agenda.
So moved to approve the special budget work session township board meeting minutes dated March the 2025, the 2025-2026 Truth and Taxation Public Hearing Minutes dated March 10th, 2025. Regular Township Board meetings dated March 10th, 2025, and the special 2024-2025 Budget Amendment Township Board meetings minutes dated March 26th, 2025. To accept the Treasurer's Report as presented, to accept the Assessor's Report for April 2025, to approve March 2025 bills, to transfer the funds. And the bill listing is as follows. For general fund, checks 30678 through 30722, building check 2634, electronic fund transfers, payrolls for township, police, and fire departments for March 2025, total $209,833.19. If you notice, the township was $121,092.67. $68,595 was the construction for the fire department.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. County report, Greg Wax.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Since the last board meeting, we've had U.S. Township Board meeting. We had a full board meeting, which was on March 27th. We, among other things, passed 3 resolutions. One designating National Crime Victims' Rights Week, which was last week, April 6th to 12th. A resolution honoring Kathy Haskins on her retirement as health director and for almost 40 years with the health department. And the third resolution was designating Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, that being this week, April 13th through 19th, to honor the staff at Central Dispatch. I mean, our dispatchers do a very difficult job, do it very well, so that emergencies can be sent out. We also did a number of appointments at that board meeting. We appointed James Henry to the Emergency Management Advisory Council. Mr. Henry is our new health director, and so he is taking Kathy Haskins' place on that board. We appointed Dave Mallett to the Thumb Region Community Corrections Board. That board has one seat that is meant for a local police chief. Chief Mallett sat on it before when he was Metamora Township Chief. Now he's going to sit on it as Lapeer Township Chief. We appointed Robert Conrad and Dave Hill to the Veteran Services Board. Reappointed Commissioner Brad Hagedorn, Catherine Bostic, Jerry Webb, and Mary Lynn Voss to the Community Mental Health Board, as well as appointing Mark Blockman to a vacant seat. And finally, we appointed Bonnie Lawrence to the District Library Board. Last week, on April 10th, we had created a whole meeting, and among other things, and of course, everything is on our website. You can actually look at, videotape them all, and of course, the minutes will be there shortly. We approved payment for the Sheriff's app. So if you've ever looked at it, it's sort of an interesting thing. It has all the people who are incarcerated at the time, their mug shots, what their bond is, what their charge is, and it also allows their family members to deposit money to their commissary account. And I can tell you one Metamora Township employer looks at it every morning just to see if any of his employees got arrested the night before. So he knows that Bill won't be coming to work today. We also approved the contracts with many townships, those that don't have police departments, that have deputies assigned to them. And finally, each board member gets to appoint one person from his district to the Seniors Advisory Board. I'm appointed Alan Bochetis, the former longtime supervisor of Attica Township. I was very pleased that he agreed to do it. He lives in District 6 because he's in Precinct 2 of Attica. So I'm pleased that I was able to appoint him to that board. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Public comment.
So here goes to Village Metamora. So I want to point out first that the site plan that was approved last Wednesday by the Planning Commission for your neighbors and relatives, business, the wedding barn venue, there's still no light, and I mean not light, traffic light, but illumination light for that intersection. At least last time I passed by at West Road and M24, and that's going to be a lot of cars going in and out in the dark, and that's a tricky intersection. I would definitely recommend getting one because all the other intersections, or most of them, have them going through that patch of road. So I want to say I find it really weird. So I've been to 2 Dryden Township meetings since the last meeting here, just the way the month fell. And I tend to learn more about things happening in Metamora when I go to Dryden Township than I learn here. So Dryden Township, the last 2 meetings, has been talking about getting camera system at intersections, roads, in the village, or for them to do it. Dryden has, and they're saying that Metamora is moving forward with that. But I have heard absolutely no discussion here. And the village, I brought it up because I heard it at Dryden at the last meeting, and they're like, oh yeah, it's already in the DDA budget, and you're in the DDA, so why aren't we hearing about that? I think it's a great step. I've been asking for that. But the fact that these things go on and we don't even hear about it, and it's a lot of money, it's taxpayer money, it's not the best money, it's not your family's money, it is taxpayer money. And these are things that affect everybody who go through there. Again, great idea, but the Dryden fire chief went through, or police chief went through why he liked the idea, why he's choosing the company, how he thinks it'll be used, how it's going to benefit the community, all those things. That's the kind of discussion that is normal in government. I was at the North Branch Township meeting last Thursday, and it was so long and boring, but they had so much discussion that I can tell you their thinking. Even if I disagreed with them, I could tell you why they made this decision and that decision. And in addition, they were looking out for blight. The board members were out looking for blight in their community and discussing, hey, this is going to affect people's property values, these people shouldn't have to put up with rats, rather than putting it on us, the residents, to make complaints. And they were also looking for illegal marijuana grow operations. So those board members were out in the community looking for things to benefit everyone. Now, the complaint I gave you today, I have no doubt, Mr. Best, that you're going to be like, what is this stupid thing, right? Nick Holden, it was March 18th.
It's got nothing to do with us.
It sure does. You appointed him to a board. And you
So?
appointed him to a board that is about ordinances and laws and following guidelines. And if he shows an inability to even, listen, we all make mistakes when we're driving, all the time. But it's a different thing when you get in a vehicle and that you're not supposed to be in, on a road you're not supposed to be in. That is showing poor judgment. That is showing a lack of integrity. That is showing an unwillingness to obey the law. And I get that you don't get it. But other people do get it. And I saw that, and I was like, I would never hire him as a realtor. I won't respect his decisions. Thank you.
Fire department business.
Good evening. So our activity report for the month of March 2025. She made a typo there. So we had 40 calls for the month. We had 17 fires. She has 20. We had 21 fires, 2 PIs, 2 meetings, 2 trainings, 0 work details. A couple fire calls that we had is we went to Lapeer on a multi-alarm structure fire up on Millville Road. So we were out there for several hours helping Lapeer on that, and we also went to Dryden 2 different times to assist them on structure fires for the month. So it's been a busy month for us. A couple things not on your agenda that I want to kind of bring to your attention is I talked to Scott a while back about getting quotes for dry hydrants. I have one quote as of right now. $3,500 a piece. I'm waiting to get one more quote. You see where they come in, but I think ballparkish, we're $3 to $4 grand per, depending on the area and how much digging they gotta do and things like that, so. That's something that we can discuss more when I get more info and all that out, so. But it's something that I'm looking into.
Do you have placements determined yet that optimize water delivery to?
So I'm kind of like looking into quadrants, right? And I got a couple ideas, but what I need to do is get out and drive it, and actually get out and not really walk it, but look at it and make sure it's gonna be feasible and something that we're gonna be able to utilize and, use throughout the year, not just in the summer, make sure we have access to it in the winter time and things like that, so.
Can you help me understand that a little better?
So a dry hydrant is basically a pipe that we have access to, normally on the roadside or a driveway, that goes underground out into a water source, whether it be a pond, a
I know
river, or a
exactly,
lake.
there's one of those I don't know.
Yeah, so then we can hook into that, and we draw water out of it, and then we can haul that to the fire.
Okay, I didn't know what they were called, but
So
that's.
we have about 7, I think, right now in the township. Some of them are working, some of them aren't.
Okay.
So we want to get a few more out, that way we have access to them. Because right now, if we don't have access to them, we can't get to a lake or a river. We're either coming back to the station to fill, or we're going to the village and hooking up to a hydrant to fill, and then hauling water to where it is, so. And that will, help with basically get water to the fire quicker. And that's what we need to do, because we're rural, right? We don't have adequate or valuable, water sources that we just can hook up to and get the water that we need, so. So I'm working on that. Another thing is we, probably the last month, we've had two traffic crashes with injuries that have been severe and entrapments. And the new jaws that we bought last year that were about, $50,000-ish, and that new truck that we bought to handle and carry all of our rescue equipment. It's been very vital in my guys, my crew being able to get the tools and the resources they need, basically out of one truck. So I want to thank you guys for allowing me to spend some of our money to be able to make that happen. Because prior to that, we would have to get 2 or 3 trucks there to be able to do what we can now do with one truck. So it really helps, especially daytime when we don't have a lot of people that are around. We can put 3 people in one truck and have everything we need to do our job. So it really, really helps. The next thing I want to bring up real quick is the county's looking at not responding to fire departments medical-wise, responding to priority 3 and priority 4 calls. Okay? Countywide, we're looking at getting away from that. So basically what that means is that if it's approved, which I have no reason to think that it won't be, is that the priority 3 calls that are like, I fell last week and I stubbed my toe and I want to go to the hospital. Or a confirmed DOS, right, where they've been dead and they're down. Or, I'm feeling sick and I need a ride to the hospital. Those are the calls that we're not going to be responding to. And every fire department, every first responder unit in the county has agreed to minimize what calls we're going to respond to. And basically it's going to go to a vote at our med control meeting, which is coming up at the end of the month. And from what I'm hearing from them is they're kind of like, we're good with it, if you guys are good with it, we're going to kind of put it in the hands of the departments and central dispatch to decide what calls you guys are going to get sent to. So, because right now we have a large amount of calls that are, I don't want to say BS calls, but they're non-emergency, non-life-threatening calls that are burning my people out to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to go to somebody that fell or has a bloody nose or whatever that, isn't really an emergency. And it's not only my department, it's every department in the county. People are getting burnt out from them calls, and it's hard to get them to be dedicated and commit to doing the emergency calls because we run so many of the non-emergency calls where it isn't life-threatening, right? And I want to make sure that we don't get our people burnt out and our people can become more dedicated and respond to the calls that matter. The priority ones that are strokes and heart attacks and things like that. And keep our guys focused and
Connie,
Yes, ma'am.
the ambulance service usually had a great deal of those calls also. And it's because of the elderly, and they're usually by themselves, and this is where Al O'Shaughnessy might be of benefit, because he was involved with our ambulance service. They just need a light bulb changed, or something like that, or they're lonely.
Yeah.
And quite a few of those calls, and those are non-emergency calls.
We get them quite often, and we try to get out there and help them people. And even to change a battery on a smoke detector, they call for it. You know, that's not our job to go do it, but guess what? We go out there and do it for them, right? Because sometimes they need help, and that's our job to go out there and help and assist where we can. If we can't do it, then unfortunately it is what it is. But we try to get people out there to change their smoke detector batteries if they can't do it, or do whatnot. So
Or put fire detectors in.
yeah,
Right up the end.
we do that all the time. We have a closet full of smoke detectors for people that don't have them. That we
That's
give.
good.
EMS will still come to those calls though, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Just the
it's
fire
okay.
department. will be
Fire
able to do it.
I see, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now,
So
there
there's
will
still a
be like some situations where if the ambulance has an extended response time, right? There's nobody close. Or if it happens to be, an obese or an overweight patient that's 400 pounds where they're gonna need help getting them out of the house.
They need a special
Whatever.
chair.
Anything that needs, like a stair chair or whatnot, but anything where they need help or something special, then we'll go to it. But it's just that average, which is a good amount of our calls that we run, or the priority 3s and not as many priority 4s, but they're just that stuff where the fire department doesn't need to be there for it. The ambulance that they're already at their base, they're already there before we get to the station to get our truck to go. And normally we're getting, turned away, or when we get there, hey, we're setting, you guys can clear,
Yeah.
So we're not doing anything on them anyways, other than wasting my budget, wasting my gas, and putting, more
Miles
people
on.
in. Exactly,
And miles.
exactly. So it isn't bending or hurting our public or our
No.
community.
No, because they're still being
They're
serviced by the
they're
emergency.
getting the same care and as quick a care as they would any other time.
I have one more thing to say. I noticed that, that spaghetti dinner, that was a nice check that
Yeah,
you
yeah, we did very well with that.
wrote that.
We had a lot of support for Brian and his family and stuff like that, so it went very well. And we did the fundraiser too. I don't know what the dollar amount is, but we did the wild game dinner with the Lions Hall we do every year. And that's normally, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 check that we get from them as a donation to us for helping.
Yeah,
So.
it was packed.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a good time. All right, that's all I have.
Thank you.
All right, please, Fireman.
Good evening, everybody. For March 2025, we had 383 calls for service. Traffic stops were up, 232 of those. 6 property damage accidents, 6 car versus deer accidents, and 4 personal injury accidents. We had 10 alarms, 8 domestic violence incidents, 6 warrant arrests, and 2 OWI, operating while intoxicated arrests. As far as training goes for the month of March, Officer Plowman completed a Leadership Essential course, which was a 2-hour online course, and also a Developing Leadership course, which was 1 hour. We did both of those on the Police One Academy, which we're able to do with our CPE funds, with our online training. Officer Irish, he did his Bosch CDR tool technician training, which was 24 hours. He did a car hauler online course, which was 1 hour. Proactive patrol tactics, which was online for 6 hours. And then he also did the Police One Academy leadership course, and transitioned to peer supervisor course, responding to people with mental illness course, autism for law enforcement, promoting safe outcomes, and he did a developing leadership course. Everybody in the department is still currently working on the Police One Academy training for this month, which is responding to people with mental illness, which is 2 hours, and then autism for law enforcement, promoting safe outcomes, which is a 2-hour course. Myself, I attended a 16-hour Michigan Municipal League Law Enforcement Action Forum. I'm a member of the LEAF committee now. The members membership for LEAF is comprised of police chiefs, sheriffs, and public safety directors from agencies of all sizes around the state of Michigan, along with MML staff, loss control, and attorneys who specialize in the area of police liability and legal defense. We research various police policies, and we assist in framing model policy and procedure language for the manual of law enforcement risk reduction. Very useful. Met a lot of good people, got a lot of good contacts out of that, so just what I need as far as, for working on our policy book, which I currently am. A couple incidents that we had, obviously we had the fatal at 24 in Brocker that we talked about last month. Another incident that we had at 4,000 block of South Lapeer Road, the storage units, we had larceny of 3 catalytic converters from the storage area. We have no suspects in that case at this time. And we had another crash on the 27th at Baldwin and Brocker. It was a personal injury accident involving a motor vehicle, a pedestrian, and a dog. The pedestrian was uninjured, however, the dog was deceased as a result of the crash. The driver was unresponsive and trapped inside the vehicle and had to be extricated by jaws of life. The driver was a 34-year-old Burton man, and he was transported to McLaren and Lapeer with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. A little more information, the preliminary investigation indicates that the driver was driving a 2015 Chevy Malibu southbound on Baldwin Road at a very high rate of speed. He lost control and made contact with the pedestrian. I believe he got into his mirror. The pedestrian was uninjured, thankfully. However, he took out the guy's dog that they were walking on the side of the road. The driver then crashed into a guardrail, and there was extensive damage to the vehicle. It was found that the vehicle was stolen out of Lapeer County prior to the crash. And it was also determined that the driver was wanted in connection to a domestic assault case out of the city of Burton that occurred just prior to all this happening. Excessive speed was a factor, and the toxicology results are pending. Couple requests. I guess we already got started with it, but Flock Safety is a U.S.-based surveillance technology company specializing in automated license plate readers, video surveillance, and it also does gunshot detection. Flock Safety partners with law enforcement agencies, neighborhood associations, and private property owners to enhance public safety through advanced monitoring solutions. We have been working with Flock, been doing a lot of research for approximately the last 9 months. Flock's Falcon license plate readers, the LPRs, they capture images of passing vehicles, identifying license plates, and unique features like the make, model, color, and also distinguishing marks on the vehicle, which can be like their, if they have racks on them, or if they have bumper stickers, things like that at the window. The data is cross-referenced with law enforcement databases to alert police about vehicles of interest. LPRs, license plate readers, they're real-time instant alerts. It runs NCIC, which is the National Crime Information Center. So what that means is we get alerts on stolen vehicles, if they're coming through the area, missing persons, amber alerts, which is children that are kidnapped. Also silver alerts, which is elderly people. And what we can do with that is we can make customizable hot lists, which we can determine what we're going to be notified about. The Flock video cameras, they provide a comprehensive live view. It's 360 degrees. It would assist us with investigations. It captures evidence, and it also assists with crime reduction. The use of this technology, it multiplies the force. Obviously, many times at night, or we have one person working, we can't be everywhere. So it would help with that. The live view for a camera, it not only protects the first responders, but the community as well. And it also collects both of them only collect objective evidence. It would allow us to be proactive with the real-time alerts, assist with criminal investigations, and it would also deter crime. Currently, we have, or not we, but FLOC is in St. Clair County, Macomb County, Oakland County, and Genesee counties. Lapeer City Police Department is working with their city commission to put FLOC in place. There's other agencies within the county that are also looking at it. But they're in the looking stage, they're not quite as far along. The footage is owned by the agency, never sold to third-party companies. It's a US-based company. There's a 30-day retention, and then the data is a hard delete automatically. So if you don't get your information within 30 days, you can't go back past the 30 days, it's gone. And it is stored cloud-based, securely with end-to-end encryption on all data. There are accountability mechanisms in place. The search reason for the complaint number has to be entered. The search is saved indefinitely, and it's available for an audit trail, just like our lien. So say we run a plate or we run a criminal history on somebody, that's auditable. I mean, you can go back and if it's timestamped, and this would be the same type of scenario. This type of technology is not used for parking enforcement or tolls. It's also not used for speed detection. So it's not like in some states where you go past license plate readers and you can get a citation in the mail. That's not what this is. There will be a department policy in place. I'm actually, it's almost ready to go. It would be ready to go on approval. Currently, there's 125 law enforcement agencies in Michigan, and there's also 4,800 nationwide. We not only have access to our LPR data, but we also have to all public LPR data nationwide. So an example, somebody with Alzheimer's takes off in a vehicle, and we'd be able to type the plate into the database, and we could say, oh, you know, they're in Oakland County, or they're going across I-69, or they're, you know, wherever. We've even had, we've had missing children that have stolen vehicles before. We had a 15-year-old that ended up in Georgia. They would have never made it to Georgia with this type of technology. We would have been able to get a hit on them. Again, this is subscription-based, and funding-wise, the village of Metamora DDA has agreed to assist with funding for the project within the village. The two LPRs, which would be the license plate readers, would be funded by the police department budget. We will continue to look and monitor grants for this type of project for the future. Currently, the one where we get our bulletproof vest grant, grant, they're closed right now as far as they're not taking applications, but I mean, it's something we can obviously look at in the future. The initial cost for the 3 cameras, and this is for 2 LPRs, which would be on the N24 corridor, which would capture both northbound and southbound, and then also the video camera would be in the village right in the red 4 corners. The initial cost is $12,250, and that includes permitting, equipment, and setup, and the 1 year of service. After the 1 year, it's $9,000 annually. The only added cost is for the live feed camera in the village, it has to be hooked up to power. FLOC does not hook it to power, so an electrician would have to be involved in that end of it. And then also the power supply just for the live feed is about $15 a month. But again, that's something we've looked with the DDA, and that's all I'm going to talk about and explain. With the ability of these cameras, this is something that can be built. We can add more. Private businesses and HOAs can be involved. I actually had a meeting today with the HOA at the Metamora Golf Country Club, and they seem interested. Obviously, you know, their initial. I have a meeting with the school tomorrow. It's something that I think the school should really look into as well. It would be very, very useful as far as safety goes. So what I'm asking for is approval. We would be the first in the county to actually implement it. to purchase 2 Falcon LPRs and 1 Condor video camera for the village of Metamora at the cost of $12,250, and then it would be a $9,000 annual cost. And again, the DDA is going to assist with some of the funding, and
Are they gonna assist with any of the annual funding?
I think they're gonna put 10 grand in, aren't they?
they did say the 10 grand. I don't know though, I don't want to speak for them as far as if they're going to assist with the LPRs that are in the township. But yeah, we did express that it's an annual cost, and it's something that can be built upon as far as if we decide that there's a need for more in the village in the future.
I'm wondering about that subscription piece, are they willing to share that also? Or is
The
that?
$9,000 a year?
Yeah. or
Yeah,
is-
yeah, they would provide for the cameras in the village, yes.
So the 9,000 is just for the cameras out on Dryden Road and 24?
No, that would be for all 3.
All three. So what portion of the 9,000 is the Dryden?
Excuse me,
What portion of the 9,000 is the Dryden and 24 cameras?
6,000.
6,000. Do we assume that the village is going to pay the 3,000 annually?
Right.
Okay, all right. So basically, we have the upfront cost of 6,000 annually, you're saying?
Essentially, yes.
The second question I have is the cloud-based service, do you know if that's domestic or?
It is domestic, yes.
So it's US, it's not China?
All U.S. and not China.
You should ask that question.
Right.
You assume cloud-based services are all domestic, but they're not.
Yeah,
They can be anywhere in the world, so your data could be sitting someplace in part of the world you don't know. So-
Thailand.
So just be, it's a good question to ask.
So this purchase, we buy it and then what, the DDA reimburses?
It would be a reimbursement, yes, it would be something else to bring to them as far as a reimbursement.
So I'll make a motion to approve the initial costs of $12,000 in a one-year service. $12,250. Thank you. $12,250, and then a recurring annual cost of $9,000, of which $6,000 will be covered by the township.
I'll support. I think it's a good idea.
All in favor?
Maybe you should do the roll call.
A roll call, Derderian,
Yes.
Chouinard,
Yes.
Benscoter,
Yes.
Beth,
Yes.
Clark, yes. Yeah, I've seen other, any of the city of Lapeer just, we had discussion on that, so I don't know where they're gonna put theirs, but it seems to be catching on.
Yeah, they did, I believe they're looking at 6 cameras, LPRs at this point, is what they're looking at.
And if it's a subscription that they would, I'm assuming that they would do like maintenance or warranty
Yeah, so-
or whatever repairs might.
Yep, so they do cover the maintenance, and I'd say the LPRs on 24 will be solar based, so if we have a problem with the solar, and in the winter time, they come and stick a big battery on it. The reason that I want to do 24 to Dryden versus put them out like at the entrance and exit, like at Davison Lake or at Sutton Road, is vandalism is not covered. So I want it to be in a more lit area, and I think that makes more sense. I'm not saying that we would have any, not saying we couldn't have problems at 24 and Dryden, but,
Right.
out in some of
Chances
the,
are, yeah,
yeah,
it's more illuminated.
correct.
It really doesn't matter where they're at,
Right,
just as long as they're on 24.
exactly.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Next thing I have is, we received a grant from the 100 Club of Genesee, Shiawassee, and Lapeer counties. I'm requesting permission to purchase 3 Max Mod Halligan tools, which is our entry tools, so we'll have 1 in every vehicle. We already have 1, but we'll have 3 more. We got a grant. So we have to pay the $935.75 from Rise Above Fire Training, and we'll be fully reimbursed by the 100 Club grant. So I'm asking permission to make that purchase.
I'll make a motion to purchase the 3 30-inch max mod halogen and tools
So what are these
for
things?
930.
So what they are is they basically, it's an entry tool, it's.
The fire department tool that the police want to have.
So it's a big, like big hammer or something? A big-
Essentially, I mean, I can show you the one I have over there. It is kind of like a crowbar, yes.
Okay.
So it could be used for, traffic crashes or, a lot of times on fires, when you're the first to respond and we need to get in, we'll, be able to get in.
Yeah,
Okay. I'll second the motion now.
Well, she didn't finish it.
I did.
Did you?
I'm not interrupting.
930 for the price,
The amount of 930.
yeah, and it will be fully reimbursed by the 100 Club. Now you can support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Last thing I have is, I'd like to request to send Officer Irish to the Technical Crash Investigation School. It's a 2-week course in August. It's the second class of the third, to become an accident reconstructionist. It's only offered certain times of the year, so I know it sounds like he's going to a lot of training, but it's offered, and the reconstruction class is coming up at the end of the year, and it's actually going to be in Lapeer. And Officer Irish actually worked with the reconstruction unit to find a place. And, so, anyways, I would like to send him to the technical traffic crash investigation course. It's in Ottawa County, but it's about 30 minutes from where his parents live, so there won't be any lodging or anything. So it worked out pretty good, and that's going to be in August.
I'll make a motion to send Officer Irish for the amount of $1,000 to the Technical Traffic Crash Investigation to become an accident reconstructionist, which I know what that is because I watched it when they had that thing out there by our house.
Yeah.
It's a year, no, it's 2 years.
No.
Hmm?
I'll say,
Oh.
you're right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you. Last thing I have is the traffic crash at 24 Rocker with fatal. We have a vehicle inspection at the end of this week, and then we're working on the reconstruction. Hopefully by next week, we should have that to the prosecutor's office for their review. So we're moving along. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, River Road Pit, County Road Commission.
No, this is the biennial. Oh,
Yeah.
it's the department work.
Well,
This is to, this is
It's
the
the County
biennial.
Road
yeah,
Commission.
planning commission's already
Approved it.
approved it to pass on to us, so
Yeah,
I'll make a motion to approve this draft motion to approve the 2025-2026 biennial soil removal permit application for River Pit.
I'll support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Okay, John R. Sand and Gravel. Same thing.
Yep. I'll make a motion to approve the 2025-2026 biennial soil removal permit application for the John R. Pit.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
And
Clerk's Conference.
I was going to make a comment that they're doing a lot better job, and so is my carpenter. You know, it's more detailed, and they are cleaning their sites and stuff. I mean, it's,
It's noise.
yeah, yeah.
Clerk's Conference.
Yes, so this is our, part of the Clerks Michigan Association. So 2025 Summer Conference, registration is up, and I'm asking for approval to attend the 2025 MANC Summer Conference at the
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don.
Any nays? Motion carried. Okay. Clear County Road Commission agreement. Ditching, drainage, improvement.
So, everybody has the road project agreement in front of them, so I'll make a motion to approve the ditching agreement, drainage improvements for Brocker, Brower, Gardner, Thomas, Brower roads. Work consists of burn removal, ditching, clean out, making spillways, and there's an attached drawing of the township. The roads are highlighted, for the cost of $70,000.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
The last project agreement here is, again, another road project agreement. Let me show you this. This is a project for removal of dead, dying, or dangerous trees in Metamora Township pursuant to the attached map identified here. Gardner Road, Barber Road, East Davison Lake, East Brocker Road highlighted. Again, dead, dying, or dangerous, and for a cost of $100,000.
Support.
It is.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried. Is there any discussion?
Do you have a minute to show us the progress over there?
Yeah.
Not tonight, it's okay if you don't.
Yeah,
Um,
it's progress, we're